So we got products coming up. We got 2025 Knockout coming up. We got 2025 Topps Finest coming up. Let's talk about those pricing. Let's talk about the resellers. Let's talk about how quick that release is going to happen. So first we have 25 Knockout, right? And this kind of stays with like my normal principles within collecting, but I think it's even a little bit crazier now because of the resellers, right? So we have the initial Topps drop at 229. We have Topps Knockout selling from the resellers, the big resellers, and on eBay for over 350 right now. That does not make sense, guys. I really hope that you're not buying into this unless you have the extra money to do it, or you've already budgeted for it. But if you are buying into these products with the resale being marked up by $100, there is very, very little value that you can recoup. It's going to have to be like an upper percentile box. It's going to have to be, a 5% box that is going to be able to recoup value when the buy-in price is $350. I mean, as we know, most of these products on the guaranteed hits, if we divide the total number, the total price tag for that product, and then we divide it by the number of hits, guaranteed hits in that product, it's normally around, like, what are we talking, like 30 to 40, somewhere in there. If you add $100 extra on that price tag, that number jumps astronomically, to like 40 or 50, and that is just not going to happen. So, I'm kind of at the point now where my advice, I think, to other collectors would be, if you can't get into the Topps drop, which, 229 for Knockout, while that is, a little bit expensive on the upper end of it, it's at least, somewhat reasonable. It's around a reasonable price tag. Now, 350 for Knockout is not reasonable, and I would not buy that. So I guess I wanted to talk about the pricing and the reselling in the sense that, like, if you are buying products, man, if you cannot get into that Topps drop, I would not recommend buying at these prices. And I know some people, it's really fun. They like to do it, so they're going to buy in anyway and rip a box. But if you are buying and you're a newer collector and you're buying and you think that buying into these products and ripping is the way to like get good cards or amass a collection, like take it from me, who's already went down that route. That is not the way that you are going to get cards that you want to keep long term in your collection. That is not a way that you are going to have, cheat the system and get a lot of value. Of course, you can get lucky, right? But the percentages will tell us, just from looking at the odds sheets and from personal experience of ripping boxes, most of them are going to be a loss. We have the same exact thing with Topps Finest, which is already out, and actually that did not sell out immediately. And we know that Topps Finest is printed a lot more. They have a 3-tiered base set, basically 300 card base set, so they make a lot of those boxes. But that was up for a little while, so if you were going to get a box, I hope you were able to get that in the Topps drop, because that is a reasonable price at $169.99. That's basically what it was last year. I love that price for Finest. Finest was a really fun rip. We're going to have some good chases in there this year as well with, the Thoughts from the Boss. We got Duel. That's going to be pretty fun. We got some fun autos as well. But the resellers right now, I checked earlier this morning before I left, $275 for Finest, dude. That is absolutely insane. And please don't buy that at that price, man. Like, I'm telling you, just if you didn't get it at the drop, just say, all right, take that money, and you can get such nice cards for that buy-in price. And I'm kind of in a weird pickle because I'm giving this advice, right? And I've been lucky to get the Topps drop on most of the products this year. But if I didn't, I would still buy one of these to showcase on the channel, which kind of sucks because if I didn't have the channel, I would definitely not be doing that, and I would just be saving that money. And if there were cards that I went to hunt in that product, I would be buying it on the secondary market. So again, we say this all the time, but I'm going to keep saying it as much as I can because I think, newer collectors or people that maybe, haven't gone through the struggle of buying boxes and getting killed, that is not the best way to amass a good collection. The most economical way to collect is to always buy singles on eBay. Also, waiting a little bit to buy the products or buy the cards that you want is the best way to get good deals. You have price surges around products. That happens every single time. That is 100% rule that has been happening since whenever I've been watching all these products. And if you wait a year, if you wait, sometimes 2 years, what happens is not only do you not buy into these rookies that didn't pan out within that year or two. So you get a lot more game film. You can make a much better decision on whether you think they're actually going to be champions, whether they're actually popular, whether they're actually good at what they do before you spend all this money. And also, what it does is it allows the Sauron's eye, the zeitgeist, the hordes of collectors, it allows their eye to shift, somewhere else. And when that happens, the prices tend to fall on specific cards from earlier releases. And on product timing, we have these two products, Knockout and Finest, coming back to back so quickly, man, so quickly. We're talking about October 24th is where Knockout is set to release. And again, it got pushed back already. Will it get pushed back again? I don't know. I haven't seen anything as of today. Maybe it could, but I kind of think this is where the date is going to fall on, and they are going to release it the 24th. But Finest is set for November 7th. Now, will that get pushed back? I could definitely see that get pushed back a week or two. But that is less than a month, man. So even if, let's say they push that back a month, right? They push Finest back a month. It's no longer dropping at November 7th. Let's say it drops December 7th. That is still like a month and a half away from the Knockout release, which is very, very close. And like I said earlier about the collectors shifting their eye towards a new product, if you're trying to sell, like let's say I have my Knockout box, right? I rip it, I pull some good cards, but it's not anything that I want to keep long term. Wasn't really PC guys or whatever the reason I want to try and flip it. I got to try and get rid of that quick, because whenever Finest comes out, the sales volume on Knockout is going to diminish. And like I've noticed that kind of my personal philosophy with this is whenever I rip a product, I'm really sitting down, I'm taking some time, and I'm figuring out what am I going to keep long term and what do I want to get rid of. And you got to make that decision somewhat quick whenever Topps is dropping products, once every month in a situation like this, because as soon as the new product drops, the eyes and the sales volume on whatever listings you have for that new product that is now going to be old it could definitely take a hit on some of your sales. So selling fast if you're in Knockout, I think, is going to be the play coming up. So right now we do have the odd and the checklist out for 2025 Knockout. So go check that out if you haven't already. There's some good information there to let you make an educated decision on whether you want to purchase that product or not. And we do not have the odds for Finest, but we do have the checklist. So I will be making that video somewhat soon. The 25 Topps Finest checklist. We'll see who's in that. See if we got some, new first autos or some rookies or something like that. But also, we still have no odds for 2025 Topps Midnight. That makes me really mad, dude. I don't think we're ever going to get that. I looked on the Topps website, and they have every single odd for every single product that they've released this year. And Midnight is one of two products that they do not have odds for. And they said they gave us odds for Topps Sapphire Edition. We do not have odds for that. They gave us the odd sheet for 2025 Topps Chrome, which did not include the Topps Sapphire Edition. So I still don't know those SSPs, man. I still don't know how rare they are, which makes me upset, because the Sapphire collections, I do like those cards. I do think they look sick. I do like the checklist. And that would be one that I would potentially, maybe want to complete that set. But since I don't know how rare they are, that kind of makes me uneasy about approaching that situation and about approaching, maybe trying to complete that set as a whole. But fingers crossed that they will give us the odds for 2025 Topps Finest and break that streak, because the streak with Sapphire Edition and Midnight was very scary to me. And we got an interesting fight this weekend. We got RDR, Rene De Ridder versus Brendan Allen. Kind of an interesting matchup, dude, honestly. We got Rene De Ridder, who is a dude that, could definitely be the biggest chase of this year. Now, we'll see what happens with Josh Van, whether he wins or not against Pantoja. If he wins, obviously, he's going to be by far the biggest chase. Right now, he probably still is the biggest chase since Gene Silva lost. But RDR, Brendan Allen, if RDR beats Brendan Allen, he's getting Khamzat Chimaev. I'm pretty sure about that, depending on how it goes. We saw, Imavov Kyle was a good fight, but it wasn't necessarily, a stamp. There wasn't really a stamp put on it. There wasn't much buzz after that win either. So if RDR could go out there and do something crazy to Brendan Allen, or if it's just a dog fight and a very entertaining fight, I think RDR could easily get the nod there. One thing about Brendan Allen, he's good, right? He's like a solid guy. He's a solid guy. He's a good fighter. But whenever he's fought guys, that are really upper echelon, Nasruddin Imavov, he got a loss to. I forgot who the other guy he lost to, but it was a bigger name. He beat Vittori. Oh, it was Fluffy Hernandez. He lost to. He beat Vittori. Chris Curtis. That was a good fight. He ended up winning that one as well. But man, I really think RDR is going to take it here. He should be a little bit longer. I do think Brendan Allen has a good pressure game. RDR, I would imagine he's going to get him down and kind of do what he does there. But I am interested to see how that fight plays out. And I hope that RDR gets the win, because for the card market, it would help a lot if RDR gets the win, obviously, for 2025 products and 2025 rookies. But also just for storylines, I think RDR getting the win. He's vaulted into a title shot. If Brendan Allen gets the win, I don't think he would be vaulted into a title shot. So then it would leave us with Imavov, which is a good matchup against Hamzat, but I think I'd rather see RDR. And we have the Paramount deal coming up in January, right? But my man over at 047 Sports and TCG Cards, aka Josh, who's been on the channel multiple times, he has Paramount Plus already, and he said there's a lot of good UFC content on there already. He said they basically have like a 24/7 channel that shows old fights, which sounds sick. They have embedded already put into Paramount, which they updated daily, which is kind of sick to kind of showcase that more. So I am very interested to see what they do on Paramount Plus come January. It would be so awesome if they just include all the backlogs of the old fights. I would love to go back and watch all those, because like when I was doing all my Khabib rewatch fights, I rewatched every fight Khabib had in the UFC. I had to dig for those on YouTube, man. Some of them were really bad quality. I also did that with, was trying to do that with John Jones, and I watched I think 4 or 5 of those, and I couldn't find one of them on YouTube, and so I just gave up on that. But I wanted to rewatch every John Jones fight as well. I think that's doing stuff like that is really fun. But yeah, man, if they can get that right on Paramount, as well as, you know, not having the freaking pay-per-views and just being, you know, a well-oiled program, hopefully it doesn't, you know, buffer and all that weird stuff like ESPN Plus does. I can't wait. I can't wait. I am going to be getting Paramount Plus. I will no longer be supporting the Pirates and floating on the 7 seas, and I will be, you know, giving my money and trying to support the fighters and the UFC, although the UFC needs to pay the fighters more, man. Are we ever going to see that? I don't know. And with Dana White coming out with this boxing league, it seems like he's even further trying to like take away the Muhammad Ali Act or something, which I haven't dove too deep in my personal research on that, but I'm pretty sure that does protect the boxers and gives them good revenue share within the promotions and the fighters. We got a lot coming up. We got the 2 releases, and I also got another release personally in November. My baby's coming in November, so that's going to be a big release for me and my wife and our family. So that'll be fun. Can't wait to experience that. Gonna still try and get these car vids. These have actually been really fun, man. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these. It's just an easy way to talk. It's an easy way to, you know, get my ideas out there. It's a lot less work to edit because I'm not adding a ton of overlays. It's just dialogue, me talking to you guys and kind of spitballing ideas, maybe giving you something to think about, me kind of thinking on the fly, thinking through some things and thinking through some problems. So hopefully you're enjoying these videos. Also, I want to do more live streams. I'm going to try and do one either this Sunday or definitely the weekend after the fights. I really like reviewing and recapping fights and then talking about the new storylines, talking about the, you know, the card pricing, how that's affected. And we got 321 coming up. I'll be doing a video with Damien here soon. That'll be dropping next week on his channel, so go check that out as well. I got some interviews coming up with some other people too. Glenn at UFC Breaks, I got him coming on. That dude's insane. He breaks so much product, dude. I don't know. I can't wait to pick his brain, because I don't know what his plan is with, you know, breaking cases of stuff. And I'm very curious to hear why he's breaking so many products, because I don't think that's a very good way and a good use of your money if you're trying to amass a collection. So I'm curious to see kind of what his ideas are there. I'm also, me and Lewis are doing a video around Halloween, which is going to be fun. MMA Cardboard, he'll be back on the channel. I got some good questions to talk about with him, talk about some vintage, and we'll talk about some modern stuff as well. That'll be a Halloween episode. Halloween episode for y'all. That's going to be fun. We got some Halloween themed questions and some Halloween themed things planned for that, which I'm really excited to chat with him again. He's always a fun guy to talk to. But yeah, man, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time.